Hello, good peoples of the internet. Today I'm a little sad, a little peeved, one may say, because I remembered the release of Gorillaz' Cracker Island. You may be saying, what? That was a good record. I feel like it was pretty widely accepted by the fans to be pretty good. I could not tell you why. This album came out February of this year, and I was very excited for it. At the time, I had been a fan of Gorillaz since like mid 2022, and I was on my Gorillaz high. And this album came out, I just never got on that high again. I could never listen to Gorillaz the same way I did from when I was so excited for this album to come out, listening to all their other albums. I don't know how they changed so much. Take their second album, for example, Demon Days. This album is genius. This album is so good. Mixing elements of hip-hop, punk, sometimes, rock, a little bit of pop, even some gospel, to make a good record. Then go forward like 20 years, and they make this, and you wonder what Damon Albarn was thinking. It's so poppy. It is a pop record. It's Britpop. I know that's what like Blur is. So Damon Albarn has experience, but like that's at least a little rock. This is pop. Take the tracks: Oil, The Tired Influencer, Baby Queen, Possession Island. Heck, the title track, Cracker Island. It's just pop. Cracker Island is not as bad of an offenser because that song is a bop. But it's just hard to appreciate like the great tracks on this thing. Like I like Tarantula, New Gold's good. And Skinny Ape is my favorite song off of this record. And then there's Tormenta, which I feel like I would like if I spoke Spanish, but I don't. So it's a little harder for me to appreciate. So what can you say? But I don't know. This record was very disappointing to me. No, it was not disappointing to me. I really liked it when it came out. For a good week, a week or two, I would listen to it like over and over again. I probably listened to it like 5 or 6 times. And then I stopped listening to it, got other records, kept listening to different stuff, went on my merry way. Came back to this thing like, oh, I remember this album released. Let me go back and check on it. I was wondering, what happened? Where did everything change? Like, when did this record become pop? When did Gorillaz go so light? They became so goofy. Like they're like it's like a cartoon. I know that's a bit ironic and contradictory because the characters are kind of cartoon characters, but they act like Looney Tunes characters most of the time. If you watch the music videos that came out for this, like the Silent Running one, it's like, you could put like a Looney Tunes sound effects over it, and like nothing would change. Compared to like, from their first record, stuff like, 192000, Feel Good Inc. No, that's off of Demon Days. 192000. Trying to remember the music videos that were released for the first record. Tomorrow Comes Today. Stuff like that was a little gritty. Like with the 5-4 lyrics, she turned my dad on, stuff like that. It's a little gritty. It had an edge to it. It had that 2000s edge. This thing is as round as SpongeBob from that one episode. I bet I'll find a picture. It's so clean cut and produced and so clean sounding. People like this record, and that's good. I don't like that clean sound. I don't. You'll probably see from future videos that the music I listen to is not the most produced, clean sounding, rounded out kind of music. I listen to a lot of punk rock, stuff that's very, like, stuff that's minimal. This what was the label? Warner Music. Yup. Major label. I'm being a bit contradictory because I listen to bands signed to Warner Music and stuff like that, like Geffen Records, like Nirvana and Weezer and stuff like that, which are big labels, and Green Day for Dookie signed to Warner. But you gotta realize this is pop music. This is pop music. The amount of disappointment I have from this album is not funny. I listen to it and I'm bored. I go to sleep listening to this stuff. The second the first track ends, I'm out. Because the first track's kind of a banger. I'll say it. But once it gets into oil, why even stay? And the singles, they released 5 singles. There are 10 tracks on the record. Why would you release half of it when you could just release like 2 or 3? I think the Breeders only released 2 singles for The Last Splash, Divine Hammer and Cannonball. This had 5 singles for a 10-track record. The Blink-182 released an album today. It was, One More Time. There were 6 singles on the album, and the album had 17 tracks. I thought it was a 12-track record, so I was like, wow, that's a lot of singles. That's like half the record. And I stopped listening to the singles after Dance With Me came out. I only listened to 4 out of the 6 singles. But that was like a good album, although that could be recency bias, because I listened to it for the first time literally earlier today, and it came out today. So that's probably recency bias speaking, which is this is recency bias. I liked it because it was a new album from a band I liked. I don't like it. It's pop music. It's light. It's safe. There's not like a single swear word on this thing. Like, that's fine. But there's no edge to it. Just makes me sad. The potential. And they have this cool lore set up with like the whole cults thing going on, the 2 cults. And I have the note thing printed out back there from like the website. But I can't appreciate it as much anymore because it's just not great. I'm ready to see what they're gonna do next. I'm excited for their next record. The last one they released was in 2020, being Song Machine, and I'm excited to see what things they do next. But I hope it has more of an edge than this. In conclusion, I'd probably give this thing a light 4, strong 3, because I'm Anthony Fantano, right? I'll give it a 4 out of 10. There are amazing tracks on this thing, like Cracker Island and Skinny Ape. That's about it. Those are the only 2 out the songs in there I'll actually listen to. Cracker Island and Skinny Ape. Skinny Ape being my favorite, but like other than that, there's not a whole lot of reason to listen to this thing. One time I convinced one of my friends to listen to this thing, and I feel like I should go back and apologize now. I would be like, man, I'm so sorry I put you through those, like, I don't know, 30 minutes. This record's not that long. And I was disappointed, because it was a new record, and it was 10 tracks long. It was so short. That's why I appreciate the new Blink album, because it's like 45 minutes long, which is a lot of, and it's good. It stays good, but this is about Gorillaz, not Blink-182, because I'll probably make a Blink-182 video sometime in my life. But I want to cover the records that I actually have right now, so look out for those. I'll probably make more videos in the future, although that's never a guarantee. But I'll see you around.